Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Journey. Today's video, like a lot of players, we are waiting for the new adventures that are going to be coming pretty soon. Now, they also said that June 1st is going to be the release of Soren, which means that looking at the Mystical House, that the rate up for Alsa is going to go away. And again, this is slated for June 1st, that we're going to see Soren in here, and she is going to go away. As you can see, 1 day, 21 hours until the release of the new hero that we're finally going to be able to add Soren. Now, of course, that is going to change a lot of different formations in here. Also seeing what he is going to do in some different comps. Now, in today's video, I want to look at the Alpha Bear. Now, the Alpha Bear is one, of course, that I've had a lot of difficulty with. You can see we're in the top 7%. And I want to show you two different formations that we've been kind of using. And one of the big things to note is I've tried this a lot without Rainier. So I don't have Rainier up to Mythic Plus to get that last ability unlocked. And it seems like I cannot get anyone else, or cannot. I changed it to a couple different formations. We tried this last time. We're trying again this time. Putting Rainier in this formation. And as you can see, we are sending Coco into the fray. So we're actually sending Coco with the Alpha Bear. I want to run this one actually 2 different times. And I want to run it once just for the RNG aspect the second time to make sure that we kind of solidify what we have. Then I want to swap up the formation a little, because a lot of players have also said this formation is working a lot better in 2 different variations. So knowing how many times that we can actually do this formation, I want to see which variation of this formation is working better. Now, of course, this is going to be super dependent on the heroes that you have built, going to be super dependent on the, of course, the Duros Trials, the artifacts that you have on there, the exclusive items. There are so many variables that players have found in this game, which makes it really cool because it adds a whole new element and a whole new dimension of the strategy that you actually have to have with this game to maximize the damage, to really mitigate the heroes dying in here. Now, overall, Corinne seems to be one that is super strong. Now, I don't have many of them built up. I don't have any Paragon, not even close to any Paragon at this point. But you can see we're pulling about 70%. Still have a little bit of time left. This might be one of our best attempts, and this is the reason why I wanted to try it. And there we go. So that is a new attempt right there. There's 71%. We die out at 72% even. So did a little bit better, broke that 70%, which was exactly where we are, 71.9. And again, I want to try it one more time with this formation. And then I want to swap up some of the heroes and see just how big of a play this really is with where heroes are placed in formations and which heroes are placed in what formations. So the big thing with Rainier teleporting Coco further is you don't have essentially a long ways to attack, which is kind of interesting. Also, you'll notice that the buff that we have on Alpha Bear is also on Coco. So that is part of it as well. But this seems like the only formation that I can get the survivability on. So if I'm not running Smokey and Mirky with Coco together, this formation I actually get, it's devastated. I literally just get run over. I feel like that with the 2 support heroes, we're strong enough to actually get through the content, making a really big difference on how these heroes are performing. Then, of course, Odie, we have at a plus 30 exclusive item. Haven't, unfortunately, got him up to a plus 15 yet, but we've really been trying. In these heroes, it seems like with the season, because we know when Soren comes out, we're going to have probably another 2 releases before the end of this season. These heroes are going to stay. So there's going to be a point where eventually these heroes are going to be built out incredibly high and really incredibly well. And I feel like that's a lot of reason why Lilith is holding back a lot of the content and also holding back a lot of loot. Now, this one we're going to swap Coco, and I'm going to put Coco up front and see what this one looks. It might be very detrimental. Putting Coco up front actually puts Odie right in his face, and that puts Smokey off into our right. So we actually just switched a few formations in here. And again, looking at Corinne, the shielding aspect, again, is huge when it comes to the survivability of the heroes in here. And I'm hoping this is going to yield a little bit better results with Odie being right in his face. Now, of course, Odie is the strongest hero that I have. Odie is the highest built hero that I have. Unfortunately, I don't have 3 of Duros Trials, or essentially Duros items that are on Odie himself. I don't have enough of them yet. But since we've unlocked it, we're farming it every single day. And we're farming also the AFK level. So again, looking at where the damage is going to sit here, we know Odie is taking a lot more damage because he's face to face with the bear himself. And I'm hoping we can keep us alive. It looks like it's going to be close. Some of those are getting a little bit high, even with the shielding right there. You can see the HP is super low. Coco, there we go with the life drain. Hopefully we can get this up to max because we're pretty close. Brand new. There we go. So that is how the formation makes a difference. So that is our best attempt yet. And again, looking at the best attempt, I know it was just a little bit higher, but that takes us to 6.7. I'm going to try it one final time here. And another way that players were changing this up is putting actually Smokey up in front. Now, I tried dropping out Corinne, putting Marilee in there. I tried a lot of different formations in here, and unfortunately it didn't work. So if you have any better formations, definitely let me know. And I also tried a few different artifacts. Now, looking at this one, of course, this is one, that evocation spell that a lot of players have turned to and a lot of players are using. So I can go ahead and run it once in here. But again, what I'm seeing is heroes are dying out very, very fast and really not being able to maximize damage, because if you're not lasting the entirety of this fight, you have to put in some more support. You have to change up your artifact. You have to make sure that you're doing the adjustments essentially that are needed to keep your team alive. If they're dying out fast, you're going to have to make sure, again, that you're changing out a lot of this to ensure that they're surviving. Now, of course, with Coco, we built up a little bit further, finally got the +5 exclusive item. You can see his shield that's popping up on people. So a multitude of support that is really going out to this team. Got some pretty good time left. And overall, it seems like the damage, we're doing pretty well, but you'll see really quick, especially if we lose someone, that it's going to make a difference. But we're 10 away right now. And you can see, guys, we're starting to lose heroes. It's getting really, really close. Shield goes up right there from Corinne. And of course, we got Coco for the life drain in the attack with a haste. 14 seconds. This might be our best attempt, but Coco goes down. Usually there's an ult about now, but there we go. So changing up the artifacts yielded us yet again a little bit further. And this is just the regular progression that we're making within here. 73.4. And I'm going to save my other attempts. So I do a couple attempts like you see right here. Then what I do is I go through and I do everything else that we have in AFK Journey. So I go ahead, I try to get some better loot. I try to get some collections. We do all of our attempts. I try to get some more levels on heroes, which makes a really, really big difference. And I could have probably swapped out one of my heroes, just thinking about it right now. I could have swapped out Thorin for a Coco or for another hero to actually build them up a little bit further to maximize the damage a little bit higher. But overall, we are continuing to get all of these heroes up to 240, and it's just a grind. Like I said, looking at the amount of stuff that we have in this game, we have 2 other heroes that are not at 240. Getting a couple diamonds out of here. And of course, with the diamonds, we know pretty soon, within, I believe, the next 2 days, we're going to have the ability to actually come in here and pick up. That is right. It is going to be some of these orbs. So by chance, maybe we can get lucky with some copies of Vernier. We have another 3 more days in here. Then, of course, the guild store, the exact same. We have 3 more days, saving my diamonds to buy out all of those orbs. Now, in the arena store, we did buy Igor since we do have Cecilia already at Supreme Plus. Dream Store, we have been building out copies or buying copies of Odie so we can try to get the Paragon level. But again, Paragon level is quite a ways away based on kind of where we are. Even now with Odie, we have 19. Look at that, 19 already in there. But again, we've been picking out copies of Odie and we're only at 7 at this point. So unfortunately, haven't been able to get a lot of copies. But as you can see from Sylvana, we've been getting a ton of copies of Sylvana, just kind of random. Gonna have to equip some new items, gonna have to get some more of our levels in there. Then of course, going through and looking at our battle modes, we finally got to floor number 2 as we continue. So right here, we have to rate up this one. I'm gonna go through here, push to floor number 2, because of course, we haven't done this one yet. And some of the strongest heroes that we see in here are the ones that we're looking for. So rate up right there. Definitely want to farm this one up a little bit. Now, another hero that we want to talk about before we conclude here is, of course, Flora Bell. So a lot of players have realized, and we're starting to see Flora Bell in a lot of different formations. So if you haven't put her in or if you haven't built her up yet, we're actually seeing her in a lot of the Dream Realm, meaning that she is finding a lot of utility in there and she is coming in the best in slot for some of those. So all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.